Hi there. Today I'm going to make pulled pork barbecue. Now, I've done this before, but I did it a different way than I'm going to do it this time. This time I'm going to go ahead and use a crock pot to finish it off. And in fact, I might just do the whole thing on a crock pot depending upon what the weather looks like tomorrow, because we might get rain. Now, I have some rub left over from the last time I did this. And this has got plenty of brown sugar in it. Trust me on that. That's the first thing you need. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I put in a rub. I just kind of put everything but the kitchen sink in there. So all I'm doing is enhancing this rub, just adding a little more kind of for demonstration purposes. So I'm putting in some paprika here. You put a good healthy amount of paprika. And you want some spicy stuff. I use chili powder. You can use whatever you got laying around. I mean, if you got adobo powder or like some kind of, I don't know, bayou spices, stuff like that, you know, anything you want to put in there. And I'm going to put a little bit of cumin in there. I'm not going to go too crazy with that. And I'm going to add some garlic powder. And I like mine a little garlicky. And this should be onion powder. It's onion flakes, but I'm sure it'll do just fine, because essentially this is going to sit in the bag in the refrigerator for a full, I'm going to give this a full 24 hours, and I might even give it a little bit longer. Because I just cut up a rather large Boston butt to make sausages for another video that I'm doing, and also because I like breakfast sausage and stuff like that. If you missed that video, this is mustard, by the way. That was pepper you saw. So I'm going to put a little ground mustard in there, and I'm going to put in some salt. But yeah, like I was saying, I made a bunch of sausage out of this pork butt, but the pork butt was a good 10 pounds, and I don't need that much sausage. So I figured I'd go ahead and make a little pulled pork barbecue at the same time. So all I'm doing is I'm taking all of this that I put together, and I'm just mixing it up so that it's a nice little rub. Now I'm going to take my roast that I cut from the Boston butt. I'm going to take my big old bowl here, and I'm just going to drop my roast in there. I'm going to drop all of my mix in there, and I'm just going to go nuts with this. Oh, and by the way, like I said, I'm probably going to use that smoker. If I don't use that smoker, I'm going to cover this in liquid smoke while it's cooking. Liquid smoke is some pretty useful and good stuff. So I'm just going around and around in here, and I'm just making sure that this gets all nice and in there. All the cracks and crevices get covered, and that it just gets a real good coating of this. So now we've got this coating. So now what we're going to do is, I'm just going to go back in the same old bag, because I just put this in the bag about 5-10 minutes before this video. So I'm going to go right back in the same old bag. I'm going to twister tie that as soon as I rinse my hands off. So I got my twister tie. I'll just crimp it off, get all that excess air out. And just like this, I'm going to throw it in the refrigerator, and well, I'm going to set it gently in the refrigerator, and I'm going to let it sit there for a day or more, and then we'll take over on this video at that point. So I got all my rub in there, and it's just sitting there hanging on to the meat, and it's going to work its way in over the next 24 to up to 48 hours. And then I can either throw it directly in the crock pot or put it on the smoker and let it smoke for a while. If I put it directly in the crock pot, then I don't need to, well, I'll need to put liquid smoke in it. But if I'm going to put it on the smoker over some hickory smoke for about 3-4 hours, let it get a good smoke flavor to it, then I can just throw it directly in the crock pot from there. So we'll catch you in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to be completely honest with you. I got really lazy. I kind of dropped the ball on this thing, and I guess it was about this time, maybe a little earlier last night, I put this in the rub, and my intention was to go out and put it on a smoker, put some hickory smoke into it and all that. But you know what? When I put this away, it was really easy to do. Then the next day, which is today, I kind of thought, well, yeah, you know, don't really feel like firing up that smoker and everything. But we've had this sitting for quite some time now, 24 hours, sitting in that rub. And you can see that it's developed, it's actually gotten wet around it. Wash my hands off from that right there. But since I'm not going to smoke it, and well, it's actually pretty wet, but you know what you can do, and this isn't apple cider vinegar, this is just straight vinegar, but you know, if you want to be technical, apple cider vinegar is the best way to go. I'd put a little bit of that on that, and I'm going to cheat. I'm going to take a shortcut. I'm going to use some of this liquid smoke. This is like 99 cents or something like that at the grocery store. It isn't much. I'm going to go ahead and pour some of this on there. Now, you could put, ooh, I probably got a whole bunch on there. What the heck? Just go for it. It's going to be really smoky flavored, just like I smoked it. Ooh, I can smell that now. So anyway, that's all you do. Just put a little bit of vinegar, a little liquid smoke. Put the lid on it. It's like 1:30 in the morning right now. So I'm going to put this on low, plug it up, and I'm going to let it go about 12 hours, 10 hours, something like that. And it should be just really, really amazing by the time it's done. Now, if you have your barbecue sauce, you can add your barbecue sauce now. But I prefer to add my barbecue sauce after it's all over. But I do know some people that add their barbecue sauce and stir it like 2/3 of the way through and all that. I don't like to mess with it. This particular piece of meat right here, I made sausage out of the rest of it, and I took the bone-in part for my sausage, preserved the bone for a soup, and I took and made 2 roasts out of this. And one's just going to be roasted a different way, and this is just going to be pulled pork barbecue. So we're going to give this, you know, 10 hours or so, and I'll get back to you when this is done. Okay, due to my regular sleeping habits, this thing got about 12 hours. And you could have added some liquid to it. I did not. But we're going to put it in a bowl and tear it up. I've stuck a fork in it, and it is ready. Okay, our meat comes out of the crock pot, and I'm just going to put it in this big old bowl right here to make it easier to manage. And just for kicks, not that it's going to matter a whole lot, I'm just going to cut it across the grain. Not much grain here to cut across. It's falling apart as I'm doing it. Ooh, it's still pretty hot. There we go. Let's take a yummy. Really, really good. Now you're just going to want to take 2 forks and just kind of go at it like so. Depending upon how chunky you want it, depends upon how much of this you want to do. I like it a little chunky, so I'm not going to go really crazy with it, but that's that. And you just tear it apart like so. And yeah, I've done this in a crock pot. You can do it in an oven, you can do it on a smoker, you can do it any way you want to do it. But essentially, I've just left all of the nice crust on the outside that's on it, and kind of tore it up, and got a little homemade barbecue sauce. You can either make your own, and I'll put a recipe up there for that as well. Might be up there now, depending upon when you watch this. And so let me get the barbecue sauce. so much in there and then leave a little extra for just putting it on individually. And this goes really good with coleslaw, a little hot sauce, or whatever. And there you have it, pulled pork barbecue in a crock pot. And although this took like 2 days between the letting it sit in the rub and I gave it 12 hours in the crock pot. You don't necessarily have to give it that long, but you can see it's really nice looking. I mean, if you wanted to take the edges off, that's fine. I like mine a little rustic, so I left them on. And there you have pulled pork barbecue. Great on sandwiches or on a plate by itself. Incorporate a little coleslaw and you're good to go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has helped you. If it has, please give me a thumbs up, comment, rate, subscribe, and we'll catch you in another video.